Hey everyone, today we're going to be introducing you to one of the best online road trip planners that you will find on the internet. It's called roadtrippers.com. If you are planning a road trip in the near future, you're going to want to check out this site. The basic version is free and it's got tons of information for you to plan your next road trip. From gas mileage, you can put your car in there and it'll tell you how much gas you're going to use. It'll help you find all those perfect places to stop along your journey. So check it out. Hey everyone, it's Ken here from Northern Viking Explorer. If you're new here, we bring you videos on travel, exploring, and discovery, so make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to use a very cool website that I found. It's called roadtrippers.com, and if you're going on a road trip this year, which a lot of people are doing because they don't want to travel to different countries, this is a must website to visit. It's going to help you plan out your road trip. You can put your vehicle in there. It'll show you approximately how much gas you're using, show you how many miles you're going, as well as show you all the points of interest along the way so you're not missing out on any of those cool stops. Now, we did a road trip from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada here, all the way to Phoenix and back about a year and a half ago. And I wish I'd known about this website because there's so many points of interest that I've discovered on this website that we missed out on. Although our trip probably would have had to have been twice as long, this would have been really useful to know, and maybe we would have done our trip a little bit differently. So let's jump on over to my computer. We'll get right into it and show you how this website works and some of the cool features. All right, so here we are on my computer. Let's go ahead and load up the website. It's called roadtrippers with an S at the end.com, and I'll put a link below to the website so you can find it for yourself. Once you get to the website, there are a couple cool features here. The first would be plan your trip, which is what we're going to be doing today. The second is explore places. So if you click on explore places and you want to learn about, say, Los Angeles, just go ahead and type Los Angeles in there and hit explore. But again, we're going to click on plan your trip here. And we're going to recreate the trip we did about a year and a half ago from Kelowna, Canada to Phoenix, Arizona. So right here it says starting from. We're just going to type in where we're starting from, and that was Kelowna. And your destination would be where you're headed to. So I'm going to type in Phoenix, start typing it in. You can click on Phoenix. And right below that, it says plan your trip for RV travel or auto travel. We took a minivan, so we're going to leave that on auto travel. And then there's this yellow button that says plan trip. Just go ahead and click on that, and that's going to load up the trip for you. Now, before we get too involved into this trip, it's going to create the route without any waypoints in it. But before we get too involved, we want to create an account so we can actually add additional waypoints. So for free, you get up to 5 additional waypoints, but you can see all the different attractions or stops along the way. Again, they do have the premium version. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but their premium version, I believe, is $29.99 for the year. Gives you a whole bunch of additional features as well as 150 waypoints. So check that out if you're going to be using this for a trip. That's a great value in my opinion. Now, go ahead and create an account. Up here in the top right-hand corner, I've already created an account. But once you click up there, you can create an account. And we need to make a couple of changes to our account before we get too far into this. So once you created an account and logged in, click on profile up here in the top right. And you're going to see your Phoenix trip here that we just created. But we want to click on edit profile right here. And that's going to load up our profile where we can add our name, country, city, etc. Our social media hashtags if you'd like that. But this is the important one here is the next one is your vehicle. We can go ahead and add a vehicle in here. So if we wanted to know the mileage or approximately how much gas we're going to be using for that minivan, we could just make sure we click on car, truck, or van. If you're driving an RV, click on that, a motorcycle, etc. And we'll just select a random year, 2018 Dodge Caravan, Grand Caravan, right there. And once you've got that in there, just go ahead and click Add Vehicle. Now, if you do want this in miles or kilometers, under Account, you can make those changes or change your password or email, that sort of thing, under the Account button. So we've added our Grand Caravan there. Let's go ahead and hit Close. Now we need to add that vehicle to our trip. So you can see our Phoenix trip here. There's 3 dots. And when you hover over the three dots, you're going to see an option that says trip settings. If we go ahead and left click on trip settings, it's going to load up our trip for us. We can add a description. We can rename it. You can make it public or private. There's all sorts of stuff there. The next, if you hit next here at the bottom or vehicle and fuel at the top, it's going to allow you to select your vehicle. So we want to select our Grand Caravan, and it's going to show the average fuel economy. You could actually change that if you like. I'm just going to leave it on the standard for what it predicts that's going to be. If you have a gas or diesel vehicle, you could select that there as well. The next thing you could do is hit on next here or friends, and this will allow you to invite your friends that might be involved in this road trip as well. So once you're done all that, go ahead and hit done. And now it's going to bring you back out, and it's created the amount of time it takes for this trip. So 28 hours and 1,619 miles one direction for that trip. So from there, we're going to just go ahead and open up that trip for us. And we've got our route. Now, this isn't actually the route that we took to Phoenix. So we're going to add something called waypoints, and these are just stops along the way. And again, we're allowed up to 5 free ones with the free version. So over here on the left, you're going to see a plus sign, and you can start adding in stops. So I know for a fact that we stopped in Twin Falls, Idaho. And you can see when I do that, it added a number 1 here to Twin Falls, but it's taking us through Utah to Phoenix, and we actually stopped in Las Vegas. So we're going to actually add Las Vegas to our itinerary as well. So click on the plus sign, and I'm going to type in Las Vegas. And you're going to see the route change all the way down to Las Vegas rather than going through Utah. And a couple other places we did visit. We visited the Hoover Dam. Oops. Start typing that in, the Hoover Dam, and it's adding that to our trip. And we also did visit the Grand Canyon. So you can start typing that, and it was the Grand Canyon Village. We'll just click on that, and it added all of those to our trip. So if I actually scroll in here on that area, you're going to see it takes the detour through the Hoover Dam all the way up to the Grand Canyon and then back down to Phoenix. So now once you've got all that in there, you can start exploring. So there's some really cool things that I wish I'd known. We stopped in Twin Falls here, but I don't know, we did not stop at this Shoshone Falls Park. Now, this is showing all sorts of amazing parks from around the United States. So you can see there's the Arches National Park, and not only parks, you're going to see Temple Square, the Great Sand Dunes, world's largest buffalo monument, all sorts of things on here, which are great places to stop. And we drove right through Twin Falls and did not stop at this Shoshone Falls Park. So I'm going to just click on that, and you can see it's got some information here. There's a photo. If I click on that, it's going to actually open it up here within Roadtrippers, and I can learn more about this Shoshone, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, Falls Park. Now, we drove right through Twin Falls. We had no clue this existed. Probably should have done more research, but this would have been great to know, and a place we would have definitely stopped at. You can click on photos here and see more photos of the stop. Look at that. That's amazing. We're going to have to go back to Twin Falls just to check this out. This is pretty cool. But it's going to show you a budget. It's going to show you, so it's $1 sign out of 4, the hours of operation, if it's independent, how you can pay, wheelchair accessible, restrooms, etc. is all there. And if you have stops available on your waypoints, you can add those. So if I did want to stop here, I could hit add to trip, and it was added as a waypoint to my trip. So once I've added that to my trip, I can just go ahead and hit X here. And that is added along my trip here on the left-hand side. Now, you can see here it says I have no free waypoints left. If you click on that, and again, I'm not affiliated with them, you can see it's $29.99 currently for the year, and it gives you 150 waypoints and a whole bunch of other features. I would highly check that out if you're planning a road trip. That being said, there's a lot of information that you can still come up with here for your trip for free. So once we've got all that in there, let's go ahead and start going through some of the features here on the left-hand side. So you can see it's got the time. Now it's up to 33 hours to get to Phoenix. 1,770 miles and about $372 in fuel to get there. So it's got all that information for you. Now there's a couple other features here that are really handy. So I'm gonna just X that out. You're gonna see at the top here, you're gonna be able to see popular destinations along the way. So if let's say we scroll in on Las Vegas and I click on popular, you're gonna see all sorts of popular things that are coming up. Now, they're not all necessarily things that you might think. So if I scroll in up here, north of Las Vegas, you're gonna see things like the Alien Research Center, which is actually a place that we stopped at, and I'll link that video below. It's more of a tourist attraction, but it's a pretty cool place to stop. And if I click on that, there's gonna be photos of it. There's a big alien out front, and you can go inside and buy some alien souvenirs. It is a fun place to visit right there in Nevada. So there's a lot of cool things that you can learn about along the route, and that's on the extraterrestrial highway north of Las Vegas. Now, that's the popular attractions. We'll just go quickly through these. You can learn about accommodations. So if I click on accommodations here, you can select from local or chain, pet friendly, your price. So if I wanted to stay at a chain hotel and adjust the price here, you can do that. And it's going to bring up several different hotels that work with your budget. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see them. We're not going to get too much into that today. Let me close out on these. You've got attractions and culture. So if you hover over these, you're going to see there's some here. So for example, Hoover Dam. If you scroll in on these areas, it's going to have them show up here for you. So if you wanted to stop at the Hoover Dam, which is something that we did, again, let me just, oh, it's already added to our trip. So that's, oh, there we go. A great stop, especially with your going with a family. It was really cool. It was much larger than I had anticipated. And again, it shows you it's free to visit, the hours of operation, etc. right here in the app. Now, and again, you can look at the attractions and culture along your whole route and just plan it right out. You've got things like food. Now, food is really cool because when you travel, maybe you don't want to go to chain restaurants the whole time. You can click on local here. And let's go to local and zoom in on, where do we want to zoom in on? This area, Flagstaff. And there's some cool restaurants that start popping up. Maybe you wanted to go to the Roadhouse Bar and Grill on Route 66. You can learn all about that here and find some cool little spots to stop and play pool along your road trip, which is really handy because so often when you travel, you end up in a chain restaurant, but maybe you want to find some of the local culture or local restaurants that are just hidden away. And this is a great opportunity to do that. So that would be food and drink. They've also got outdoors and recreation. So of course, if you're looking for campgrounds, you can find all those in here. If you wanted to stay, for example, this one here, the Kebab Lake Campground, someone's got a photo there. It's independent, pet friendly, etc. And you can find out that, or you can scroll through the list for all of these on the left-hand side. Red Rock State Park, that looks pretty cool. And it shows you where it is. When I click on it, you can see it's highlighted. And wow, that would be a cool place to camp right next to that. Looks amazing. Doesn't that look like a scene from the Cars movie, the Disney Cars movie? I think that's amazing. That's what, when we stopped in Sedona along our trip, and it is really cool in Sedona, and that's kind of getting right into that area. All right, so from there, from outdoors and rec, you can get into points of interest, which is really cool. So, and again, these, you can see they're color coded as well. So points of interest, those are kind of in a mustard yellow color, and you can just click on these. So the elephant, let's look at that. Cool little, I don't even know what to call that, a little shack or house dug into the hillside. So there's some small places that you'd never think to stop along the way. What's Rowdy 80? There's not pictures for that one, but there's the Barney Flat Historic Railroad. You could learn about that along your way. And these are all just things that you might never be able to think about to stop at on your trip. So that's points of interest. There's camping and RV. So if you are traveling with an RV, there's going to be a ton of places like that that come up for you. And again, all over the place, you can see the little green circles coming up. There's entertainment and nightlife. So if you're looking for some of those things, you're going to find those there as well. And what else is there? There's services. So that would get into rest areas. Actually, this one's really handy. Rest areas and fuel stations. So I'm going to just click on rest areas here. And you can see all the rest areas start to come up, which is really handy. Some of them do have pictures, but it's good to know when you're planning your trip, especially where you're gonna be able to stop. If you go to, had too many sodas on the way, you need to know where the next restroom is. So especially if you're traveling with kids, it's good to get out. And that was a really long drive. We needed to get out and stretch on our trip, and that's important to know where the next rest area is. From there, you can get into shopping, which is handy. You can select from grocery stores, malls, everything like that. And again, we're not going to get too far into this, but just so you kind of get the idea of different stops that you might be interested in. From there, you've got sports. So if you're looking for hunting, fishing, golfing would be cool. If you're headed to Phoenix to golf, it would be nice to know where all the golf courses are. So you click on that and you can see they all start coming up here with the little red circles. And you can start exploring each of those very easily here, right through their website. So this one's at the Marriott, clearly, for that one. So, and if you're going to that one, you could add it as a waypoint as well. And then the final one there is motoring. So if you're interested in off-road trails, racetracks, scenic drives, that sort of thing. So off-road trails, this is going to bring up all sorts of different things for you. There's not a lot under off-road trails, but if you're interested in all motoring, there's going to be different attractions that are more directed towards that. So really handy if you're headed on holidays and you'd like to know about off-road trails and different things like that. Maybe you have an ATV that you'd like to go whipping down a trail on. That's a great place to find those as well. So very useful, roadtrippers.com. Again, I wish I'd known about it before we did our trip. I think it would have made our trip twice as long because I would have wanted to stop at so many places, but really handy, and definitely going to use this in the future for planning our future road trip. So I hope this video was able to help you out in planning your next road trip using roadtrippers.com. It's a great website. If this video did help you out, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're interested, I have some videos linked below from our trip to Phoenix, and they're from the Perrine Bridge, Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, and the Goldfield Ghost Town. Check out those videos. They're all linked below. Remember to connect with me on social media. You will find all those links down there as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, take care.